Hey guys, welcome to Art Today with Miss Bias. Today we're going to be looking at the concept of positive and negative space. Positive and negative. Now, what do you think those things might mean? Take this picture for example. This is a picture of my husband and I. What do you think the positive space is, and what do you think the negative space is? There are actually a couple correct answers. We could be the positive space, and the background, all of it, could be the negative space. Or we and all the details could be the positive space, and just the sky is the negative space. There's two correct options. You kind of have to decide which one you want. Today we're going to be looking at positive and negative space with objects found around this time of year. Now, depending on what you celebrate, you may choose different objects. I'm going to be choosing a little stocking, a cup for some nice hot chocolate or coffee, and an ornament. I may also draw a candy cane, and maybe one or two other things. You want at least 3 objects, okay? When you figure out what objects you're going to draw, if you don't have them, just draw them from your imagination. You want to go ahead and get your sketchbook out with a pencil, and we are going to draw our objects. So let's get ready. So to start today, I'm going to be drawing my objects in my sketchbook to practice. If you don't have a sketchbook, go ahead and just get a white piece of paper. Now, just so you know, normally we do not cut things out of our sketchbook, but this will be an exception. So make sure you're drawing them nice and big because we will be cutting them out. So no tiny little thumbnail drawings here. Try to make each drawing about the size of your hand. If it's a little smaller, that's okay. I'm going to first draw my mug. I'm going to draw it a little differently than the shape it is because I prefer a more rounded mug. I'm just going ahead and drawing my basic details here. There's the handle. Okay, so there's my mug. Next I'm going to do the stocking. So for the stocking, now also notice my sketchbook is about twice the size as yours, so you might want to do one drawing on each page. For my stocking, I'm going to start with the top, go down and around. This is kind of a short little fat stocking. There's the basic shape of it. There's these little circle decorations in the bottom. And then it has this top piece here. Okay, so there's my stocking. And then I'm also going to do my ornament. Kind of a circle. It goes down into a point. Fun fact, I actually made this ornament up in Corning, New York at a glass company, and I got to blow this. This is blown glass. It's pretty cool. Now notice I'm not doing all my details, just some of them. I'm going to go ahead and draw just one more object, I think. I'm going to do a candy cane right here. Other ideas would be a snowflake, a little cardinal. Typically we only see little cardinals, they like to come out at winter. A hat, like a Santa or elf hat. Okay, so I have my objects. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all of them out, and then we're ready to start our positive negative space project. Okay guys, so I have my 4 objects cut out. Now you will notice I did not quite cut out the middle yet, because I wanted to show you that in case you don't know how to do that. To cut the middle out of something, I'm just going to fold it over slightly. Then you can cut out around it with your scissors. It is a little difficult, it takes a little patience. but you get a nice result. So there's my stocking. This one's really little. There's that. Here is my mug. And my candy cane. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a plain white piece of paper. I'm going to arrange my objects on here somehow. So I have to decide how I want them, and I do want them to overlap a little bit, okay? Now, once I have them arranged the way I want them, I'm then going to take a pencil and very carefully trace around them, trying to hold them down as much as possible. Make sure you trace lightly, as you will erase these lines at the very end. Okay, so I'm just missing the inside of my cup here. And as you slowly start to move them away, just go slowly to make sure you've actually traced all your lines, okay? So here's my project. Here's what I have. Have my objects on there. Now I'm ready to start decorating the space around it, because I'm going to actually make this a little opposite. These objects are going to actually be my negative space, and the area around it is going to be my positive space, having my designs in it. So for this, you want to either be using colored pencils, markers, or crayons. Get those supplies and then we'll get started. Okay, so I now have my colored pencils, and I'm going to be starting adding the designs around them. Now this is where you have a lot of freedom. You can make any type of designs you want. You just want to make them intricate. So I'm going to start here, doing kind of a fish scale pattern from the corner. I'm going to keep bringing that in until it gets a little smaller right here. So I got one little pattern in my corner right now. I can also go ahead and color that in a pattern if I would want to. So I'm going to finish coloring that in a little bit. I'm going to come over here from this corner and start doing a pattern. And this one I'm going to do some lines first. And then I'm going to do shapes going out. Kind of making it look a little bit 3D here. Do one more over here. section. So if you want to give it a 3D element, you can add something like this. Kind of also looks like a spider web. And then what you'd want to do is you'd want to go ahead and color those in. Kind of like a pattern in here. So my edges would be darker and it would get lighter as I go towards the middle. I'm going to also do a pattern in there. Notice how I'm coloring a little bit lighter as I get towards the middle, and I leave the very middle white. So let's add a blue layer now. Going from dark at the corners to light in the middle. The ones at the top are definitely the hardest, because you have to color right along the edge of that paper. Okay, so I might have a couple shapes like that over here. I'm just going to do some little more classic patterns. I'm just going to add some patches of designs here. So I'm doing a couple little snowflakes that kind of fits with my theme. Just bringing that shape in to the center here. Now if it goes behind it, pretend to draw it like it's behind. I'm going to draw that in the middle of here so we can tell that it's behind that shape. Okay, next to that I'm going to do some mini little candy canes. Basically, I'm just going to keep filling my whole space around my objects with different shapes, patterns, and designs. So, let me show you what it looks like at the end. Okay guys, here's my finished positive and negative space drawing. You can see I did a variety of different designs and patterns in the background. I have complementary colors here. I have various objects here. Some 3D, and then a couple other designs. Here I used all my warm colors. Okay, so hopefully you learned what positive and negative space are, and you had fun coloring and designing your project. Have a great day.